Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Power Loop podcast. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how you get to learn to listen to your intuition. This is often something that I find my clients really struggle with in the beginning when they come to me, when we are newly spiritual, maybe, and you're just connecting to your spiritual side. Knowing what your intuition is actually telling you can be really difficult. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about what is your intuition, how do we use it, how do we tap into it. We are also going to be talking about what is your bodily yes and no. And I'm going to guide you through a practice of learning what is your body's yes and your body's no. Because these tools, like knowing your body's yes and no, is without a doubt going to support you in learning to listen to that intuition as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit about your ego, good old ego. And you know me, I'm always going to be talking about ego. I'm always going to be talking about how we get to turn the fear to power, how we get to step in and lead from our power, which is a choice we get to make. And we definitely need to be in tune with our personal power if we are going to live a life where our intuition is at the steering wheel, is at the front seat of the car, supporting us along the way. And that's pretty much what we're aiming for, because we want to have a life where we live in alignment. We desire a life that's filled with fun and joy, and where we get to expand and grow and evolve all throughout our lives. So, of course, we need to learn to listen to the intuition. That's what we're going to be doing today. A small disclaimer: if you are out and about and you are driving your car, if you're running errands, if you are like doing a million gazillion things at the same time, this podcast episode can be a bit hard for you to take in. And I want to invite you to either come back to it at another time where you have some peace and quiet, or re-listen to it and take the guided exercise when you have a space of calm and centered around you. Maybe you are in a space where you can take that in the middle of the episode, and then that's perfect. And I think that's all the disclaimer we need to know. First and foremost, what is your intuition? What is it? How can we use it? Why is it important? Why are people talking about it? Why is it such a rage? I will tell you right. So the image that I use about intuition, and you can take that if it serves you, it is that our intuition is like a little piece of our higher self put into the human self. It is also what is referred to as the inner knowing. Some people call it the sixth sense. Some people call it the gut feeling. Some people simply say the intuition. Whatever you call it, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Your intuition is this little knowing on the inside of you that just knows we are not going that direction. We are not going in this direction. This is not the relationship for me, even though I really wanted to. It's not the right one. And your intuition, you will notice it. It's different from your ego and intuition. So your intuition is this calm, centered voice inside of you. It's this inner knowing voice that is just calm. It is not loud, it's not messy, it's not judgy. That's your ego. Your intuition is simply just saying yeah or no. It's not big and massive and loud. It's not, with a microphone and just screaming at you, go away, this is not the right thing, you have to turn left. No, it doesn't work like that. Intuition is literally a calm knowing. My best example is, I've tried it personally multiple times when I've been in a relationship or I've been dating someone. I'm like, I really like this guy, he's amazing, and intuition's just like, no. And there's no force, there's no there's no force. It's really just a centered inner knowing saying, no, this is not the guy, or no, this is not the apartment, or no, this is not the job, or no, this is not the friendship, or no, this is not an important path, or yes, this is an important path, or yes, there is something here. Very often listening to my intuition has brought me the most insane experiences. I remember once I listened to this intuition, and sometimes it simply says yes and no, other times it guides you in a direction. And I remember one time I was on my way home from a Christmas party at my previous job, and my intuition kept saying, you gotta go to this bar. And I was trying to debate against my intuition because I was like, no, I'm tired and I don't want to go to a bar, and I don't know who's there, even though I know the owners. I don't know who's there at the bar. I don't really, nah. And it just kept saying, you gotta go. And then I went to the bar, and in the bar I met this guy who I had been flirting with. I thought we had a thing, and I thought he was gonna ask me out, and he just completely ghosted me. And he was there at the bar, and I saw him and I said hi, and he said hi, and then he pulled me aside and he explained everything to me. He explained to me open and vulnerably that actually he was in a relationship, but he's just been so infatuated by me, and he was so scared that he was gonna fall absolutely in love with me. And after we had our, like, we were working together at the time, and when we finished the job we were working on, and he came home to his partner, he was like, oh shit. And he didn't know how to handle the situation, so he just ghosted me because he was so scared that he was gonna unravel the life he was in at the time. And I got this apology, and that was what I needed, because I have made that situation mean so much about me at the time. This was back in, I think, 2017 or something like that. I had made it mean so much about myself. I had like hit myself on the head. I told myself I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't thin enough, I wasn't fun enough, I wasn't whatever enough. And I made it mean so much about me, and it really took a toll on my self-esteem. And then my intuition guided me to go to this bar without me understanding a single thing of why. And then he was there, and I got this beautiful apology and a massive confidence boost. And from that single event, like, all my confidence issues that I had tied up to that situation disappeared. And that was what my intuition knew I could get if I followed that. So I have learned, and this is just one of a gazillion examples that I have truly learned that following your intuition doesn't make sense, but it makes magic. And it's not always you get to see the magic in the moment. Sometimes the magic comes later on. I've had it with like an ex-boyfriend where I'm like, I really want this to be the one, and this is so good. And my intuition was like, no. And then of course not, because the next guy I dated, he was even more amazing. And that also wasn't the one. So I'm really excited to meet the next guy that I'm going to be dating, because he's obviously going to be better, because it's always this or something better. And this intuition literally is this calm little centered voice inside of you, in your knowing, and is this piece of your higher self that's embedded in your human self to guide and support you through whatever it is you're going through, in the direction of what does the most service to you in your life, and what will be the best piece of alignment that you get to walk through. So your intuition literally is your bestie that lives inside of you, is always ready to guide you and support you. And it's so beautiful once you learn to really listen to it. And the way we can differentiate it from the ego, let's take that right in here as well. So intuition, calm, centered, non-judgmental. It doesn't, if you don't listen to it, it's just going to stay there and say the thing. It's not going to scream louder at you. Intuition is not going to yell at you. It's not going to call you names and call you stupid or make you think something about yourself. It's literally just there, not doing anything. Whereas ego is going to be creating stories. Ego is going to be yelling at you. Ego is going to be trying to hold you back. Ego is going to be fighting you to grow. Like, your ego's biggest goal in life is for you to stay exactly where you are right now, because this is safe. This is safe. Your ego is designed to keep you safe and within your comfort zone. And right now, where you are in your life right now is safe and comfort. And when everything is safe and comfortable, that means you haven't died, and that means your ego has done its job, and that's what it wants to do. Like, that's literally a part of the human brain. Our brain is not designed to be successful. Our human brain is designed to survive. It is designed to have minimal energy consumption, so we get to survive longer. That's why it's really easy to lay on the couch versus get your butt in the gym. That's why it's really easy to eat junk food where you don't have to get up and cook the meal, because it's time and energy consuming. Your ego literally is supporting you to survive. So it will always be yelling at you, screaming at you, making up stories, having fear being there whenever you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Intuition is not. Intuition is calm. Intuition is like, you know, Pocahontas, there's Grandmother Willow. Like, that's kind of like intuition. It's just calm, anchored. What's your path? Stay on your path. You know your path. Let's go this way. So there you have the differentiation. That was a difficult word for me to say. Bilingual. The struggles are real. So that's the difference between the ego and the intuition. Simply explained. I'm sure we can elaborate on that. If you need me to, let me know and I will elaborate on it. But your ego will always be fighting you. Your intuition won't. It's just this calm, gentle knowing. And when it's there, I want to invite you to really listen to it. What is it saying? And often your intuition will tell you things that doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't make sense. Often it will tell you things that can be really scary. I remember once I was in financial distress. This was a few years ago. And I reached out to a mentor and I was like, hi, do you do pro bono sessions or do you do scholarships for this program? Or are you interested in an energetic exchange? Because I really want to work with you and I don't have the finances right now and I'm really scared to ask. And she replied, yes, I do. I do have scholarships for this and I would love to gift you one. And then I got the scholarship for the exact program that I needed because I was brave enough to ask, because I have gotten that knowledge from my inside. I got it in a meditation. That's often where we get to listen the most to intuition, because we are finally being quiet. We are so seldom quiet, we humans. We are constantly stimulated. We are constantly doing. We're constantly listening to podcasts like you are now, or we're constantly watching something or hearing music and texting at the same time and scrolling while we're talking on the phone. Like, we are doing so many things at once that we rarely have time to just calm down and settle down. And like, I literally get that with every single client I have in my business for the psychic readings that I do, the clairvoyant readings. All of them are being told, you need to sit still so we can tell you and support you. So I often get I often get to connect to my intuition and my higher self in my meditations when I'm literally just sitting in silence. And what I do is that I ask a question and I just take whatever comes and I sit with it. And then I see, is this a calm knowing or is this an ego thing? And from there I move. And that's how I can move in alignment, and that's how I can be so calm in the way that I move through the world, and so self-trusting in the way that I move, because I know my intuition is never going to leave me off guard. And you know that too. You have tried having that intuition or that gut feeling or that sixth sense about someone's not quite right, and then you are right that they were not quite right. That's your intuition. So you know you have it. We just want to be better at using it. And we get better at using it by connecting to it. And you do that in meditation and in stillness and in listening without judging it. Just witness what is coming through. And now the next part of today's episode is finding your body's yes or no. Because this is very much in alignment with this. It's easier to follow intuition when you can ask your body yes or no, and then your body can support you in following your intuition. So that's why I'm weaving these together and not creating too many episodes. So how do we know if a body says yes and no? And what does it actually mean that a body says yes and no? So when a body says yes and no, it means that in your body you can feel a certain feeling, emotion, pull, muscle twitch, something. There is a physical sensation in your body when something is a yes and something is a no. And I'm going to be guiding you into this now. And we're going to do it very simple. It's a quick and easy way to test how your body feel like a yes or no. I'm going to tell you how mine feel afterwards, because I don't want to inflict upon you how yours is quote unquote supposed to feel, because it is different for every single human. And that's the intention. Like, you're not supposed to feel like how I feel in my body. You're supposed to figure out for yourself. So I'm going to be guiding you through a few line of questions so you get to feel yes and no. And if you haven't felt it from this simple exercise, don't worry. Just take the same exercise, add some more questions later after this episode, and continue to do it until you know your yes and no. It really gets to be simple. But in the beginning, our mind and our ego will be yelling at us. It can't be that simple. You can't learn it. It doesn't matter. Or you're too stupid to learn, or whatever your ego says. Don't go in there. Just listen and feel whatever your body is feeling. Okay, so now we go into this practice. So find a comfortable seat somewhere. And either you want to be sitting cross-legged in easy pose, or you want to have your feet firmly centered on the ground. Okay. So from sitting here, I'm going to ask you a few questions. And you're not going to answer, you're not going to say anything out loud. You're just going to feel how this feels in your body. Is the sun yellow? Is the sun blue? Is the sky blue? Is the sky red? Is the ocean blue? Or is the ocean orange? Are the trees green? Do the trees change color when fall arrives? Is snow white? You see, these simple questions, these easy and obvious yes or no questions, these are the ones you want to be practicing on. I want you to take a moment just to ask yourself, is my hair, and then you insert your hair color. So is my hair blonde? Is your hair? And just notice how that feels within your body. How does those yeses and those nos feel in your body right now? There's no right or wrong answer. And if you have no idea, it just feels like a really weird exercise, that's exactly how I felt in the beginning too. I thought this was the weirdest thing in the world when I learned about it. But it has given me so much calm and centered power within myself that I get to know it so fast. And you can leave your meditative state right now when you're ready. This is the exercise we do. So we ask ourselves simple yes and no questions that are obvious in their answer. So you do not want to go in and say something like, a sunset is only pink. Like, oh no, because the sunset is also blue and purples and greens almost, and then there's some yellows, and then it's like so sunset so many. Like, we want to make sure it's simple, really simple. We want to make sure that the questions are so obvious, like the sun is yellow. Yes. We might even debate that. We might even debate if it's yellow or orange. But then you can ask, the sun is warm. Yeah, I think we can all agree upon that. The sun's very warm. So you ask yourself super simple yes or no questions in calm surroundings, being super centered within yourself and your body. And you just listen to how your body is reacting physically to the yes and to the no. For me, it feels like this, how did I explain it? I think I used the word cannonball the last time. It feels like I have this cannonball along my spine, and when there is a no, it's like the cannonball just drops and just down to the bottom of my spine, to my tailbone. It just feels like, oh, I'm being anchored down. Like, stay. And that's how my no feels. Whereas my yes feels like someone has put a little string into my heart and is pulling me forward. So I have this tiny forward motion every time I have a yes. It's like my heart is saying yes this way. Now, that's not the only way you can feel a yes and no. It can feel wildly different. for different people. It might be your left foot is tingly if it's a yes and your right foot is not. Like, it gets to be so many different things. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. I'm just sharing them with you so you can get an idea of what it can look like. So you see, the sensations aren't massive. The sensations aren't like, I'm just raising my right hand above my head without wanting to. No, it's really simple things that I'm actually feeling, but I can only feel them once I am quiet. And now the reason we want to have these yes and no is that this is the way we can communicate to spirit, to the intuition, to the higher self, call it whatever you want to call it. We get to ask questions. So when we get these downloads, when we get these intuitive hits to go somewhere, we get to ask in complete stillness, we get to ask our body, is this the right thing for me? And once you have learned and mastered that, you get to use your bodily yes and no for anything. Is this the right mentor for me? Is this the right coach for me? Is this the right apartment for me? Is this the right partner for me? And then the real flex is learning to trust what you're navigated to. And learning to trust is, I feel like, a topic on its own. And I feel like we should do a podcast on that too. If you want me to do a podcast on learning how to trust, tell me on social media. Find me, tell me. I was about to say comment down below, but you can't do that on a podcast. So find me on social media and tell me to make that. I would be happy to support you and serve you there. But it really takes you choosing your power. It really takes you choosing to lead from your power when you are following your intuition. Following your intuition is the opposite of what seems logical often. Following your intuition is not at all an easy path to go through, because again, as I said, easier, your ego will fight it. Your ego is here to make sure you use minimal energy and you just stay where you are so you don't die, and your higher self, your intuition, wants you to grow and evolve and expand to the fullest version of you, the fullest capable version of you. So it's a lot, and I get it, and it can be really scary, but I want to let you know that even though it's scary, this is going to be easier, not because it gets easier, but because you grow stronger. Your level of self-trust grows stronger. Your level of personal power grows stronger all the time, every day. And every time you choose to follow intuition, to follow that nudge, you will feel better for it. You will feel stronger for it. You will feel more in alignment for it as well. I hope this episode served you. If you loved it, let me know. I will be so excited. Also, if you want me to do the trust one, let me know that as well. And I wanted to let you know that I'm right now accepting new one-to-one clients. So if you really want to get in tune with your spiritual side and lead your life from your power and design that vision board reality, make that vision board come true, I'm now open for new client application process. You simply just click the link down below and then you book your free discovery call and we talk about it and we see if we match, and you get to feel into your bodily yes and no, is this true for me? You know what's true for you and you are the best one to do so. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning into the Power Loop podcast. I've been so excited to give to you this episode, and thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to me. If you like the podcast, please rate and review it so we can get it out to even more people. And that's it for today. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for being here, and I love you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.